everyone to the 2016 Awards Assembly. This morning we will recognize pupils in grades 9 through 12 for their accomplishments during the 2015-16 school year. We are fortunate to have such an outstanding group of students and are proud to give them the recognition that they truly deserve. You have a program at your table. We're going to change one of the orders just because we have one of the presenters that can't be here later in the program. The first recognition we're going to do is the Girls of Summer.
Good morning, everyone. If we could please have our 5 seniors who participated along their journey of Girls of Summer at some point come up and join us. That would be Katie and Madison and Chloe and Christina and Desiree. So one of the things we have learned in our 10 years of Girls of Summer is that as they get older, it becomes more and more difficult for them to commit to the extensive hiking, reading, and writing schedule we have over the summertime. But that doesn't mean that they haven't been a huge influence on our program over the years, and so it's really important that we recognize them. Some of these girls joined us right after 6th grade, and they've grown up a lot in those last 6 years. And so for our Forever Girls of Summer, these bags you will find a pair of compass earrings from the season. They will remind you of where you have been, where you are headed, and that a person who knows how to find their way in the woods is strong, smart, beautiful, and patient. We've always told you to stay on the trail when hiking, and now it's time to get off that trail. Blaze your own way, take time with your journey, and never lose those close to you in the dust of life.
We would also like to recognize a non-senior this year. Can I have Lucy Lux come up? Lucy has also been with us for many years, and we feel that she embraces what it means to be a hiker and good trail etiquette. She is patient. She supports the other hikers on the trail in the group and will assist them if need be. She also enjoys asking some amazing questions of people that we meet on the trail, and she's able to get some pretty cool information from people that are just strangers that we come across on the trail. But she has excellent questions that you never even think about, but it always enriches the experience for everyone, the other hikers and our group as well. And she, takes the lead. She jumps in whenever we need her to, if it's helping out with mac and cheese or helping to figure out how to pitch some of these tents. She has really stepped up over the years, so we want to recognize you.
Now I'm going to present the Scholastic Awards, and the first ones we're going to present are the B average, and a student must have maintained a B average in 2 out of the first 3 marking periods. And will the following students come forward? Blake Druin, Connor Isles, Chris Brooks, and Justin Osgood. Those students with an A average in 2 out of the first 3 marking periods: Madison Chase, Grace Petrin, Samantha Tower, Delana Welch, Carolina Walowski, Philip Bomba, Mariah Kate, Denise Berman, Brianna Chase, Sarah Ford, Hunter Gavoni, Erica Brown, Chloe Louts, Madison Morell, Megan O'Hara, Madison Savoy, Brian Vance, Kate Van Houten, Ben Waldo, and Dakina Welch. Those students who received all A's, which are highest honors in 2 out of the first 3 marking periods: Kerrigan Boyle, Dora Alon, Dakota Smith, Daria Etchings, Lucy Mouse, William Lyons, Dale O'Connor, Bethany Louise Leon, Andrew Harrington, and Taran Morrison.
This award is voted on by the entire student body of the high school, basing their vote on 3 criteria, namely scholarship, loyalty, and achievement. And the recipient is Dakina Welch. Maintained a 90 or above average over the past 3 years and will be receiving a 90 plus blazer. Brianna Chase, Denise Berman, and Dan O'Connor.
Here to present the Ryle Awards for 3 participants who completed the Rotary Youth Leadership Conference. This award must be earned. Ryle emphasizes leadership, citizenship, and personal growth. Selection of candidates begins at the club level, and the award requires participation and completion of 2.5-day Ryle Conference at Linden State College. And this year's awardees are Lucy Lewis. Come on up. set of our Rotary Club, and we practice with mantra, if you will, of service above self. And students that participate in this do a lot of volunteering and community service work, both locally and in international projects. And I'd like to call them up. Caitlin Welch. Caitlin Peck. Lucy Louts.
the National Program of Excellence Award from Jostens. I am honored to be giving out this award today. For those of you that do not know, this award is very difficult to earn, and very few schools do receive it each year. We are one of 3 schools in New Hampshire to receive it this year. Jostens requires that we meet all of our deadlines, including pages, payments, and cover design. They require that at least 80% of students appear in the yearbook 3 times or more. And finally, they are required that our yearbook sales increase 5% from the previous year. A lot of schools do not receive it due to the 5% increase. So please congratulate the students for winning this award. Lin-Wood High School. How many times have you been in the yearbook? 3. She said 3, okay. And of those 3 years, how many times did we win this award? All 3. All 3 times. So congratulations. So to honor that achievement, I made you something special. Your very own stormtrooper.
I'm here to talk in regards to the Balfour and Sportsmanship Awards. This is given to 2 seniors. Our one senior representative, Miss Chloe Laus. And our Babe Ruth Sportsmanship Award goes to Mr. Andrew Harrington. You are good. The PE Award. This year, pretty challenging to select just one individual student. The student I selected, over the 3 years that I've been here, I've seen a dramatic change in this young man. In class this year, whatever I asked him to do, whether it was helping set up, help some students in class, he was always willing to help. This year's PE award for Mr. Murphy is Mr. Justin Osgood. I will say, Justin has really matured into a hard-working, good sport. To see him work with other kids in his class has truly been amazing. I've seen him when I went into Mr. Murphy's class, so how about another round of applause for him? Before I give out the award for my class, I would like to make an official announcement that next year we have a new gym floor. And this space is not a hallway. Teachers, students, visitors, only come in here if you're going to a game, you have a class, but this is not a hallway. All right, we have that on TV, community. We are going to take pride in this gym. And I'd like to thank everyone that was involved in making that happen. This year's PE award goes to one of the most positive students that I've had in class over the years. This past semester, she was the only upperclassman in the class, and I nicknamed her Captain. She values fitness, and she likes being active, but in a less competitive environment. I feel like she is a good athlete, and almost every day in class, I was like, oh, you should do softball, you should do soccer. You know, asking her to get involved with things, not only because she's a good athlete and likes to be active, but she's a good classmate. She's a really good teammate as well. This year's PE award goes to Skylar Harper.
So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Nick Nelson. I have the privilege and sometimes the struggle of teaching the Project Venture class. Now, Project Venture is a very special class, especially to me, but because really there's no curriculum and there's really no minimal leadership on my part. It's a completely self-guided class by the students who take it. So it's really exciting just to see how it changes every year. Every semester is different projects, different personalities. But kind of the one thing that the project's always shared, there's always a certain level of adversity that the students have to face. And some students do better than others, some handle it very well, others really definitely rise to the occasion very well. And kind of this year, and this semester in general, I saw one individual who really rose to the challenge a lot and had to deal with a lot of adversity, a lot of difficulty personally, and also just logistically. So whether it was lifting heavy rocks, working on creating an outdoor learning center for the school, or in mentoring, dealing with an especially difficult for him kindergarten student. So because of all the hard work that I've seen this individual put out, and is by no means the outlier for the groups that I've had this year. Every single individual I worked with in Project Venture just absolutely crushed it. I'm really, really proud to have been involved in all the projects that you did this year. But the individual who stuck out to me because somehow he always managed to keep it together, show up, not lose his cool, Andrew.
Every once in a while, a teacher will have a tough year, and this year I had 4 students in particular that had such a high aptitude for learning that I had to work extra hard to meet their demands. Before school even started, I looked at my roster and I saw Justin Osgood returning for some new art experiences, and that crushed my hopes of being able to use any previously made lesson plans from the years before. Then I noticed a new name, Eduardo, another exchange student from Italy, and Italy is like the mecca of the art world, and he tells me his mom has been an artist for as long as he can remember. So I, being his art teacher, am now given the opportunity to try to distill a higher sense of artistry in him, working against that. Then Brenna decides to join Desiree, and that was like being attacked by human sponges. They absorbed everything I could offer them so quickly. I just barely had enough creative juices left after half the year, and then both of them decided to return for more the second half of the year. You guys can come up now because I have more to say about you, but it'll be easier if you're up here. So Justin Osgood, Eddie, Brenna, and these 4 students have made being their art teacher so worth every extra hour I put in this year. And this does include having to be up here out of my comfort zone for a little bit longer as I say a little something about each of them. In their own way, all of them epitomize the arts as the frustrating yet invigorating, dynamic, and self-worthy area of study it can be. For example, Justin can literally draw or paint anything with skill sets that I wanted to write to colleges about, yet as great as he is at art, he does not want to go in that direction in his future. However, I would gladly plan a dozen more new courses if what keeps him creating his artwork, even if it's just as a second hobby to keep him entertained when he's not in the woods. Sitting next to Justin in class and constantly challenging him was Eddie. One can recognize the depth of artists' capabilities when they can critique each other's work, accepting and giving both positive and negative feedback. Eddie proved that it doesn't matter if you have a language barrier. Skillfully designed artwork can speak volumes for itself. Eddie is indeed bringing home a bundle of exquisitely built pieces, but the fact that he used his artwork all year to commemorate his visit to America is truly what makes each of them so unique and special. Desiree's classmates rightfully praise her art skills every year when they ask her to create the most challenging, often last-minute images during Winter Carnival, which I'm sure she is so bummed she doesn't have to do anymore. But the truth of the matter is, Desiree, like the art world, is inspired by that delicate balance of spontaneity and careful calculation. There were definitely points when I thought senioritis was going to get the better of her work ethic, and her charismatic nature often tangent us off task a few days each term into hilarious conversations, which ate up some of our precious art time. But when push came to shove, Des always followed through, producing amazing compositions even under the pressure of life's distracting hiccups. I hope she continues to generate spur-of-the-moment art projects. Those were always her best ones. Those 3 will be leaving us this year. Congratulations to all of you and all you will do. But Brenna, I am happy to say, is sticking around. A late arrival to art class this year, I really had no idea what to expect of her. I had briefly met her when she first moved here, but other than that, I didn't know her very well at all. She was super quiet at the beginning, making it even harder to get to know her, but then she picked up her first piece of charcoal, and the artist in her spilt everything. She loves manatees, a very unique animal to have her favorite. She holds those dear to her in extremely high regard, and she has learned to love-hate glitter as much as I do. Although she will probably never be boisterous, I am so thankful she will be around to be a quiet leader in my high school art classes next year. I am finally done. Congratulations.
I'm here to present 3 different awards, and the first one goes to a freshman. Now, this award was actually presented at the ice cream social already, but I would like the student to come up for recognition. This is the Erica Avery Award. This is the 30th year that this award has been given. Erica Avery was a student here at Lin-Wood and passed away in 1985, and it was in 1986 that this award was given for the first time. And there's an inscription on the back of this award. I like to read this every year, and I was thinking about it this morning, thinking, oh, I read the same thing every year. Well, in light of the last few days or the last semester or so in my classes, I thought, everybody needs to hear this, because this isn't just about somebody who's dedicated to what she's doing just in band, but in everything. and I really like this inscription. So Erica was always a dedicated, hardworking student at Lin-Wood. Her education was a valuable part of her life. Despite her years of illness and absences from school, she always tried to make the best of her education. She loved the teachers who taught her, the students who were always with her, and the education she was receiving. Her courage carried her through many days of having to be tutored and kept away from friends. That's not what school's about. But the one thing that was really special to Erica was the band. Erica's determination and love for the band brought her to be the best flute player she could be. Even when she was being tutored, she would bring her flute home, hoping to be able to participate in her lessons. I know Erica's memory will always be with the band, as she would have liked. As we know, she was very proud to be part of the Lin-Wood schools, and especially the band. So this award is presented to a ninth grader, that is the most improved ninth grader, and it's voted on by the other ninth graders, and it goes to Matthew Chase. And now the real torture begins. The next award is the John Philip Sousa Award. It's given to a senior. It is presented by the United States Marines and goes with not only outstanding performance in band, but also with courage, fortitude, and pride in what they do. And this year it goes to John Lyons. And I, like Mr. Louch, would really like to thank the community for coming together and raising the funds and allowing us to get a new floor in the auditorium here. So thank you very much. The auditorium. The next award is the four-year award for being in band, and this takes, if nothing else, fortitude. And this year we have two people, John Lyons and Dakima Welch.
First, I'd like to present the solo and ensemble medals. So could I have Erica, Alexis, Sarah, Tim, Dre, Megan, Wyatt, and Dakima? So every February, the high school chorus performs at the Solo and Ensemble Festival. We perform as a group and also as individuals or as duets. For the past 2 years, the festival's been held at Keene State College, so we had to hop on a bus at 5 in the morning, but that didn't deter this group. In addition to receiving A's for their group performances, these students also earned A or B ratings for solo and duet performances. They've already received certificates, but I always like to award their medals here to recognize their achievement. It's amazing to have so many students who choose to sing a solo or a duet and have their performance judged and rated. And the self-confidence they gain is so beneficial to our whole chorus. Congratulations on your outstanding performances. Valley Rakita join us? who is our only 8th grader. And we met once a week working around the many other things that these students were involved in. They're a great group, and if you missed the spring concert, you should check it out on YouTube. If you go to about the 50-minute mark, you will see Tim and Dakima and Wyatt and Megan showing off their fabulous dance moves. So thank you all for a great year. Now I'd like to present the 4-year choral awards. So high school is full of choices, and I'm so glad that these 6 students chose to make chorus part of their education for the past 4 years. Wyatt's years began in Woodsville, and we're happy to welcome him to the group as a sophomore. For the other 5, this could really be a 13-year award, because I have had them in class since kindergarten. They were my first class, and I've watched them grow through their exciting elementary years, their awkward middle school years, and their drama-filled high school years. In chorus, their accomplishments have been many. Congratulations on a great 4 years. I'm proud of you, and you will always be special to me. And then there was one. This is the National School Choral Award. Hangs just inside my room. And every year it's awarded to the senior in recognition of singular merit, ability, and achievement, of outstanding contributions to the success of the school vocal program, and of an unusual degree of loyalty, cooperation, and high qualities of conduct by the general consent of music faculty, school officials, and others. Tim's been in select chorus for 3 years. He performed solos at the Solo Ensemble Festival 4 years, participated in the North Country Musical Festival 4 years. He was a member of the All New England Choral Festival this year. He's the highest grade in class. He knows all the answers to anything I might ask. He's been the heart of the guys section for years. He's a leader in class and always supports his classmates. He's dependable, kind, and respected. The National Choral Award is hereby conferred upon Timothy Holden.
This has been a really fun year for our PLAs. We had a record number of 11 members. We participated in many community service events with a group of fun. We got together a few times for dinner meetings to discuss FBLA, and we as a group what we were doing will add more community service. Yearly, we attend the State Leadership Conference in Manchester. This year, 8 members attended. We took part in a few workshops like Dressing for Success, Ethics in Business, the Make-A-Wish Foundation, How to Get a Job, and How to Run a Meeting. We took various tests and worked on projects. One
One of our members submitted their resume and letter of intent for the job interview project. Once there, she had an actual job interview. They rated her on her dress and mannerisms, the way she spoke, and how she answered questions. Bree Chase won second place overall and received a $250 scholarship to Clifton State University. Congrats to Bree.
During our downtime, we decided to take a walk to Ben and Jerry's, and our group decided to grab the Vermonster, which is built by 20 scoops of ice cream, brownies, cookies, tons of toppings, all healthy, of course. And we noticed on the wall there was an award to Pinkerton Academy for completing it in 23 minutes. They had a bigger group than we did. So our kids decided they were going to take the challenge and ended up finishing it in 17 minutes. However, we could not have finished it without John Lyons. He took the bucket and finished it to the very last drop with a straw. So this award is given to John Lyons for his never give up attitude in finishing the Vermonster.
Our next award is for Outstanding Member. This person is always enthusiastic about anything and everything they're doing, whether it is wrapping gifts, candygrams, community service events, or pizza parties. She's always trying to smile on her face and is ready to go. She was also recently elected president of FBLA for the upcoming year, so this award goes to Daria.
We also would like to recognize our fabulous seniors, John Lyons, Takima Welch, and Katie Van Houten. Katie has been our longest active member, who's been with me all 4 years, and we wish them best of luck in college. Also, we are hoping to beat our record of 11 members of last year, so if you're interested in joining FBLA, please speak to any of these people or Mrs. Van Simon. Thank you.
The first award we handle is the Harvard Book Award. The Harvard Prize books are presented annually in more than 1,900 high schools around the world to outstanding students in the next graduating class who demonstrate excellence in scholarship and achievement in other non-academic areas. There are many students from the junior class who have been a good choice for this award, but there's one student who I feel has earned this award for his many accomplishments both in and out of school, academically, athletically, and within our greater community. One of the few students I know more through other people than I do direct conversation. Congratulations to this year's Harvard Book Award recipient, Dan O'Connor. Next are the New Hampshire Scholar Awards. New Hampshire Scholars is a community-based program that encourages students to take a more rigorous core course of studies in high school. In the past, there has been only one level of New Hampshire Scholar. You either were or were not one. By the nature of Lin-Wood's rigor, we often have a large number of graduating seniors who receive this award. But just as we aim to improve each year, so does this program. And for the first time, we will recognize 3 types of New Hampshire Scholars within our building. The first group that is being recognized is our traditional New Hampshire Scholar. Kerrigan Boyle, Chloe Louts, Allison Rakita, Madison Boyd, Brian Vance Jr., Catherine Van Houten, and until one of the more recent awards, the almost forgotten Andrew Harrington.
This also carries a GPA requirement of 3.2 or higher. Receiving this award is John Lyons, Fran Morrison, Benjamin Waldo, and Akima Wells. Lastly is our New Hampshire Scholar with STEM emphasis, which also carries a GPA requirement of 3.2 or higher. Please welcome up to the front Thor Bartlett and again, Akima Welch. The Advanced Studies program at St. Paul School was founded in 1957 by St. Paul School to provide talent New Hampshire public and parochial high school students with challenging education opportunities otherwise unavailable to them. More than 11,000 students have participated in this program since that time. Lin-Wood has been fortunate enough to send one of our own throughout most of recent memory. In the summer of 2015, roughly 300 students were selected for this program, and a mere third of those were male. I admire the students' curiosity, kindness, and intelligence. The St. Paul School Award goes to Toran Morrison. We're going to talk a little bit about our inaugural year for Boys of Summer, and we'll be handing out the award as well.
First of all, I'd like to call down the members of the Boys of Summer program: William Lyons, Sam Partridge, Connor Isles, Hunter Gavoni, Viking Bartlett, Connor Duncan, Justin Borges, Jeffrey Claremont, Thor Bartlett, John Lyons, Vinny Caleo, Chris Brooks, and Ben Walden. First of all, I would like to thank the Girls of Summer program, Ms. Steves, Mrs. Krill. Thank you very much for paving the way for this program to happen. For how many years did you say, 10 years? 10 years of Girls of Summer, first year of Boys of Summer. We had the support from the school board, the school. We had the interest. All high school students, 13 of them. It was wonderful. Many different types of people. What an incredible group of advisors in a school where the faculty is like 25% male or 30% male, to have an opportunity to spend all this time with the guys going on hikes and going to, Mr. Webster's going to talk a little bit about our camping trip. But it was an amazing experience. We had our first meeting yesterday, and it looks like our numbers are going to be strong again, and looking forward to this summer. Mr. Webster.
These members are very strong. Just you should spend a weekend with them and will not be strong, very strong. With the Boys of Summer BOS, very affectionately known as another name too. We got to spend the summer hiking. We did a couple of the major mountains in the area. We did some major canoeing and kayaking. Some of them got to fish for the first time ever in their lives, which was pretty amazing. Even one caught a turtle. Mr. Webster, what do I do? Get the hook out of it. We also got to spend some time up in Maine at the Max Campground, which is where I affectionately call my summer home, and they graciously gave us some time up there. The boys set up world records on putting up, what is it called? Assembling, that's fine, that'll work. Pitching, as well as many fun things. The books talk, let me tell you, I never thought this would actually happen, and I was absolutely amazed and very proud of these young men. This really hit home when I, thinking that these boys wouldn't take this portion of this seriously, and when they showed up with their books, and we spent 2.5 hours around a campfire actually discussing authors and men projects and things like that. It was really absolutely fascinating and just very proud of these young men, especially one man in particular.
We'd like to recognize John Lyons as being one of the best leaders we had within this group. There's a few things I remember from John, but one of the things that impressed me and scared me a lot was how he descended a mountain. There were a few times I thought he was only joining us for that last hike, but he was really impressive the whole way along, always supportive, always helping out everybody along the way. Our award goes to John Lyons.
The book he's going to receive was actually passed down to me by a professor at Plymouth State a long time ago. It is Edward Abbey's The Monkey Ranch Gang, and I couldn't find a better, more person who could take care of this book and pass it on. So.
This year is going to be our Poetry Out Loud Award. And this award is going to go to a young lady who, she devoted half as much time to everything else in her life as she devotes to Poetry Out Loud. It would be remarkable. She spends thousands of hours prepping for POL. I've also had the opportunity to take her driving. Yeah, we've done grades, and she is definitely a young woman we're all really going to miss next year when she goes to Riviera. Her driving, she needs to spend some more time on. So I think since she will not be participating in Poetry Out Loud next year, she should focus on getting some other adults over 25 to take her driving. This award's going to go to Ms. Allie Rakita.
We worked on finding really good books for our most hesitant readers. So while I could give an award to Madison Savoy for most books read, though I think I still won, I decided that I needed an MIR, a Most Improved Reader Award. So my award goes to a student that has possibly never, until this year, actually read a book cover to cover. Well, with our new reading initiative, this student had a chance to read with me for 96 minutes a day. Wouldn't love that. He may have only read 4 books, but he's worked harder this year than any other year in his life, and I am so proud of Justin Osgood.
Hold on. You will need to come back in September to join our freshmen and sophomores to give a book talk on that book. You're gonna read this one.
I will buy it for you. I will find you. Eleanor Parker? Who's that?
Well, Mrs. Witcher, our last over. We'll wrap this up. Eleanor Parker was a native of North Woodstock, and she taught for 38 years in New Hampshire schools. She taught English and French and directed a number of different extracurricular activities. Partly for her defense of the novel To Kill a Mockingbird, which we read here at Lin-Wood Public School, when there was an attempt to censor the book at Laconia High School, back in 1964, she became the New Hampshire Teacher of the Year, something you and I can only aspire towards. In 1980, Ms. Parker retired from teaching to her home in North Woodstock to become active in town and local politics, the Penny Valley Church, the local Historian Society, and the Business and Professional Women's Association. In 1989, the union leader named Eleanor Parker New Hampshire Woman of the Year. In honor of her legacy as a courageous defender of righteousness, the Eleanor Parker English Award is given to a member of the senior class, not in recognition of the highest grade or most ability. Rather, it's presented to the student who approaches the use of the English language in the same joyous spirit as did Eleanor Parker. This is a student who cherishes the right to read and a student who clearly demonstrates an obvious enthusiasm for the use and power of language. And Mrs. Witcher and I, there was no discussion over who would receive this award this year. And while we have a lot of students in the senior class who hope to go on to be writers, which is really exciting, we have one student who he really views writing as an art. And I have been quoting John Lyons for years now. His chair in our classrooms will be missed, and I'm not sure anyone will be able to fill it for a very long time. So John Lyons, we are so proud of you.
To give. Student Council, we had a great year, small group this year. FBLA is looking for people, so are we. We're your party planners, so if you want to have some kind of say in what happens during prom, you should come join our group. A lot of fun. We're going to miss the seniors who are so organized and creative and get us going. So Madison Savoy, Dakima Welch, Bree Chase, Sarah Ford, Chloe Louts, Lucy Louts, Daria, Connor Coppin, Katie Van Houten, and I don't think he attended any meetings, Laura Bartlett. Come on up.
So we've had 12 people throughout the year, but we had 9 people who finished strong. So please come up, our 9 foodies, kitchen 1, 2, and 3. Come on. All right. We spend a lot of time in our own kitchens, in our own worlds, shopping, planning, learning, testing. But we have 3 major events where we get to apply some real-world audience or applications. First, there's the gingerbread house competition. It's about a month in the making. If you've never made gingerbread, if you've never gotten sick of the smell of molasses, you don't know what you're missing. This year, the audience was 3rd through 5th graders who did the voting for the gingerbread contest. We had a couple of students who really appealed to their audience, just knew who they were. Chloe with her Frozen Castle, and Justin with his, I think, TIE Fighter. Not really a Star Wars person. They won their hearts. Second came the sandwich contest, where we had a dedicated panel of staff, including Mr. Nelson, who are year after year judges for this. And despite bringing Mr. Nelson to tears, reducing Miss Krill to giggle fits like I've never seen, and bringing Mr. Labs, well, we won't go back, what he did. The winner was Kerrigan with her very spicy sandwich. Quan brought us a banh mi that was super duper. We all learned how to use daikon that day. The third happening was yesterday, was our Chopped Senior Final. We have a one class period where they are given mystery ingredients and they choose their own kitchen teams, and with that time factor have to produce 3 courses, highlighting their mystery foods that they have no idea until just before. This year was a really good showing. All of them did well. It was a really tight competition. The winning team squeaked by 1 point over their next competitor. The winning team this year was Justin, Brittany, and Quan. So as is the case every year, we find the true talents of everybody in here. You know, Dylan, clean as you go, sign of a pro, right? Getting those dishes done, he's all over it. Des, we're still working on that, right, Des? Yeah. Keeps me laughing. We had our MVP, but I don't know if I call it MVP. This person was just sort of a quietly all-around helper. This person improved greatly during the course of the year. She was a team player and one of the very few non-seniors. So our most improved, or MVP of this year's food class, was Maddie. For her efforts, she gets the silver hand mixer. For our Foodie of the Year award, it was kind of embarrassing. I really, literally did not know until last night after going over the foods rubrics from the Chopped contest. I made 1 award and I have 2 recipients. I'll fix that, I promise. We had 2 people. The first one, always at the top of her game, always willing to help. Go the extra mile. I can't tell you how many sub-notes have said, thank you, thank you, thank you to this person. How many times I've said thank you, thank you, thank you to this person, is Chloe Lau. The other person had some ups and downs, all in, not so much in, all in. But also put in some extreme effort and really kind of, found his own in this class, and kind of summed it up a couple weeks ago when we were just putting something together, something really quick that came up on the fly, and he just kind of turned around and he's like, wow, we've really come really far in this class. And I was like, yes, thank you. Justin Borges is silver hand mixer, but we will come up with another prize, so you don't fight over it. These are dangerous. Okay? Thank you very much.
Each year, the Mathematics Department presents a Math Achievement Award. Criterion is all in top secret files, which we scan and we hide it again so that no one else knows what the criterion is. Traditionally, this has been a senior-only award when I first started, and for quite a number of years it was until we had Kathy Showalter as a sophomore coming in and top 10% nationally in the PSATs. By the way, guys, you work on your PSATs because that qualified you for a National Merit Scholarship which she did win. She got a full 4 years tuition-free at Bowdoin College. So, working with the SATs and some other levels beyond that, but it didn't really help. So we gave Kathy the award as a sophomore, and as a junior, and as a senior. So we kind of broke tradition there, and since then, it's been wide open to the entire high school student body. So the selection this year, and we'll go to Mr. Robinson.
So I hope you're settled in. I've only got about 45 minutes worth of prepared remarks, and then I'll take questions. No? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I think I have it.
All right. So when we started discussing the award, Mr. Baker told me about the history of it and how one person had gotten it 3 times. And I'm kind of a traditionalist. I really thought it should go to a single individual, and I thought it should go to a senior, which really sort of cut down the pool a lot. And there are some excellent, excellent math students here, and I looked at the students I didn't know, I looked at the students I knew, and what I realized was we had a student who was on track for 100 in statistics. And for those of you who haven't taken statistics, there's a lot of gambling going on who's getting this award. I've been poked like 6 or 7 times in the last 4 or 5 days to find out who's going to win this, because I think people are betting. It turns out Ben Waldo is a phenomenal statistics student and a phenomenal math student. And I am just absolutely pleased to award this to him. Come on.
I have 3 different things. The first is the chemistry award. So the chemistry award, the elemental student award, that shows continuous self-directed perseverance to learn chemistry, goes to actually 2 students this year that go above and beyond to ask questions in class, to retake their quizzes, to encourage their classmates, to be engaged in class and focused. And for this year, the 2 individuals that have shown dedication to their education in chemistry, and that I can count on being there to retake their quizzes. They're always wanting to improve their grade. What can I do? How can you help me study for this? What did I do wrong? The 2 of them that I'd like to congratulate are Mariah Kate and Lucy Laux. It started with, I have 1 single student in anatomy and physiology, and that would be Chloe Laux. And as a challenge, I had asked her about going to New Hampshire Science Olympiads. It's a competition that would be equivalent to a major sporting event for any of you athletes. It is a very serious science competition. It's held at St. Anselm's College. And Chloe went for anatomy and physiology. It was a single exam that she took while there. Cassidy Santos and Thor participated in a Write It, Do It competition where they had Cassidy went in first. She observed a structure that was built ahead of time for her. She had to, in words, be able to describe what Thor then needed to reconstruct. So her very specific directions then allowed him to reconstruct this, and then they were judged in groups of 2 against other groups. Andrew Harrington and Madison Savoy participated in a geosystems exam, so the 2 of them participated together in an exam on environmental issues, and I'd like to congratulate them on their participation in Science Olympiad. If you all could come up to receive those. dedication toward lab safety and understanding the safety concerns, rules, and regulations in the chemistry lab. She completed a lab safety course by Flynn Scientific, and I'd like to congratulate her on her work.
First, I would just like to say how good our students look when you dress up. So good, so good. This year we're here to give the Foreign Language Award, and I would like to bring them up. This year we broke tradition and we actually didn't do foreign language names. So I know them as Sea Breezy, Andy, Mama Mads, Kima, and Thor Branson, which that's not his middle name, but that's what we call him. Come on. And Taran. I'm not going to give a big speech on these guys because they know I'll cry, so I'm just going to say that they're awesome. And we'd like to recognize one student from each department. So for Spanish, we'd like to give the award to, I've been waiting for this moment for 6 months, Thor Bartlett. And clearly for French, Taran Larson. Next, we're going to do the ELO awards, and we have a lot of them this year, which is really great. First and foremost, thank you again to community partners who open up their doors for our kids to work within the community or outside of the community, and also to all the teachers that met or came to our presentations, which, like I said, there was a lot. It took about 3.5 weeks to do all the presentations, so thank you to all those panel judges who took time to do that. The first set of awards goes to the group of kids who went to Eleuthera, Bahamas with Miss Steves. And those 7 students are, 2 of them out there, Taylor Schamberger and Kai Good. They did focusing on marine pollution and sustainability. Bailey Harrington, law enforcement. Samantha Tower, the ecosystem and coral reefs. Delana Welch, photography. Dakima Welch, studying the lionfish. And Lucy Louts, studying cultural arts. And then additionally, we had 7 more students who worked within our community doing in an actual target ELO. And those students were Maddie Rivera, who did an elementary education with Mrs. Camplin, Katie Van Houten, who worked with Mrs. Duchette doing a teaching internship, John Lyons, who we'll see one day running something in Boston, working with the Littleton Courier, journalism, Ginny Berman, doing her internship at the Lincoln Pediatric Dentistry. Ginny also just got recognized for her LNA, which is a pretty big achievement for her age. And Bethany Claudia Leon, who did her internship at the Animal Clinic. And 2 students that I'm really proud of, Thor Bartlett and Vinny Kaleo, with working at Burley with an engineering internship. And Darwin Etchings. Oh, right there.
Hi, welcome. We are here to talk about actually 2 different awards, or a series of awards. The first one, I'm going to call up a bunch of students. This is the first year that the AP biology course was turned into, or in conjunction or ran with, the running stock program from Lakes Region Community College. The students in this course performed at such a high level, they beat 90% of the college students that were also in this course as well. So I'd like to have Dakima Welch come on up, Benjamin Waldo, Allison McKeever, Desiree Lawton, Timothy Holden, Erica Brown, Thor Bartlett, and Christopher Rose. Now, doing that, I was awarded a credit voucher for courses at the community college system in New Hampshire. And I looked through the scores and such over the last few years and was looking for the most improved student within the science realm here, and that went to Chris Brooks. So that was 3 credits for a free college class at the community college. Plus each of these have earned 4 college credits at in the university system for biology. The next award, I'm going to try to get through this one, will bring a tear to my eye. Losing this young lady who's been a very special part of the Lin-Wood science community here. She has completed approximately 12 tortured credits of science with me. So that means she's been with us for a very long time, as well as a lab aide working for both of our scientists up here, as well as working in middle school and working with the elementary kids. This, the Darlene Lin-Wood Award is going to go to, which is naturally selected, to Kiva Welch. Thank you very much.
Representing First and Awards this year, and I believe I have 5. Chris Brooks, Alan Kia, Ryan Vance, Hunter Gavoni, and Brandon Harrington.
To agree with Mrs. Whedon that you guys look really great. So thanks. The other thing that struck me as I was sitting and listening to all the awards is all the opportunities that you guys have here at Lin-Wood. And I know sometimes it's hard to appreciate them when you feel like, as Dr. C said, you're being tortured. But you really do have a lot of opportunities, and it made me want to go back to high school. Go out with the girls of summer and recite poetry and, art, wouldn't that be the greatest? And I'd join the band if I could. I'd like to do everything. Anyway, the award here for history is known as the Thoreau Award for Excellence in History. And somewhere, maybe about, I don't know, 15, 16, 17 years ago, I was rummaging through some old books in my attic, and I found this little play called The Night Thoreau Spent in Jail. And I read it with my U.S. history students every year. And it tells the story in a very amusing way of Henry Thoreau, who I think is a great role model for all of us. And it's one of the reasons that I love history, because it helps to remind us that human beings don't really change all that much. We evolve, but we all deal with similar issues over time. And Thoreau is a reminder of how important it is to defend justice, to stand up for your beliefs, even in the face of a lot of discouragement, to treasure education, and that education is the source of a great power for us if we want to change and improve the situation in this world. So there are 2 history awards this year, and the first is to Brianna Chase and the second to Sam Partridge. I've been here a long time. I get to go to Concord for 3 days altogether with a great group of kids. This is the Youth in Government program. And we spend some time in the fall writing bills, learning about parliamentary procedure, critiquing our bills, and then come usually March, on my birthday, it seems like every year, I get to spend time with a really great group of kids. And then we go back for another 2 days and take over the legislature. It's a program that's run by the National YMCA. And New Hampshire may be the only state in the union that actually lets its students take over the legislature. So we're actually in that chamber, the House of Representatives and the Senate. We have people who serve on the Governor's Council, in the Governor's office. We elect a student governor, Speaker of the House, President of the Senate. We're in the Legislative Office building. And maybe the most fun is wandering around Concord and finding good places to eat. So I'll call you guys up. Thor Bartlett, Chloe Laux, John Lyons, Karan Morrison, Ali Rukita. Taran and Ali need directions, and I too would not, Ali, I'll help you drive. Madison Savoy, Katie Van Houten, Takima Welch, Skyla Arpin, Genique Berman, Brianna Chase, Connor Coppin, Sarah Ford, Dan O'Connor, Jordan Petrie, who's not here today, Cassidy Santos, Sarah Wargo, Mariah Kate, Daria Etchings, Connor Ives, Lucy Laux, William Lyons, and Bailey Harrington.
First of all, I forgot to make my little speech in a larger font, so hopefully I can see it okay, maybe doing a lot of this. The first award I want to give, is the highest level of effort and commitment in AP Psychology Award. And I just have a few brief things to say, and that is number one, AP Psychology is first period. And the students, well, let's just say that for the ones who play sports, have an after-school job, are involved in class fundraising, other co-curricular activities. Kids are very busy these days. They don't get a lot of sleep because they also have to do their homework. AP Psych has homework every night. So yes, 7:40 a.m. comes pretty early for a lot of students. My AP Psych class this year was great. I truly enjoyed each and every one of my students, but there is one who came to class every single day with his homework done, and done thoroughly and thoughtfully. That really counts. After every exam, if he wasn't satisfied with his grade, he did test corrections, he created stellar projects and other presentations like fulfilling every piece on the rubric. He did all this often on little sleep with a positive attitude. There were a few times where I had to, like, are you there? Because he was tired. A wonderful sense of humor, superb manners, even though he and a few of his co-instigators did plead with me ceaselessly excellent psych film in which we could study the brain, especially the medulla oblongata. So anyways, they won. All kidding aside, achieving the highest average and exerting the highest level of commitment and effort this year, I am pleased to give this AP Psychology High Effort Achievement Award to Andrew Howard. Is a lot more than just getting the best grades and so forth. These students also were very, very thorough and thoughtful in their work. And so I'm just going to start off by saying that I have had the extreme joy of working with a group of enthusiastic, fun-loving, hard-working, and well-meaning freshmen this year. It truly was hard to narrow down a list of students for whom I would bestow this World History Award on, because a high percentage of students do come to class every day prepared, eager to learn, and because so many of them were self-directed learners, deft and dedicated Renaissance researchers, and high-level critical thinkers, stellar communicators, and highly engaged citizen historians during our Socratic dialogues, which we call fishbowls. But there were 7 students who, when I track back the reliability in their walking through the door with their materials not only prepared, but holding their work to a high standard and achieving a high average for all or most of the year, most times taking their learning tasks to the next level, thereby enhancing the learning not just for themselves, but for their classmates as well, and for me, quite frankly. I learn a lot from them. I find myself with this list of World History students that I want to congratulate. Amy Marion, Michaela DeCellier, Samantha Tower, Madison Chase, Soha Bawan, Grace Petrin, and Dakota Smith. Conversation about issues in history and contemporary affairs. You want these gals. They're awesome.
I'm here to talk about Unified basketball. We had a great season this year. We went undefeated. We ended up going down to team, who incidentally we lost to, but they did end up winning the whole thing, and we were the only team who was able to keep them at the lowest amount of points scored. So we're really happy about that. So if you could please hold your applause till they all get up here. I would like to call Emily Strangman, Dylan Good, Nathaniel Strangman, and Brendan Good.
This next award is kind of connected to the fact of it's not how you start, but how you finish. The Principal's Award is evolved into an award that's given to an individual who has demonstrated the greatest amount of improvement in themselves as a person, as a learner, as an educator, and their impact on our school. And I often get some feedback from some staff members about who is probably the most desirable for this award. And this year there were two individuals that came to mind that took their game to another level. And if they could go back to where they were 4 years ago and think about where they are now in their lives and how they are as a person, there's two individuals that come to mind, and I would like to give their principals awards to Vinnie Taleo and Justin Osgood. We had two individuals that we left out of the, we were given the academic awards, and these are individuals that were A, average in 2 out of the 3 market periods, and John Lyons and Phil Bartlett to come up with. I know we've had a number of exchange students over the past few years, and each one of the exchange students that we've had has added an awful lot to our school, and they have made us a better place. And this individual has his parents here today from Italy, and we would like to welcome them and to thank Eduardo for being a part of our lives. That concludes the award assembly this morning. Graduation is tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. We wish the seniors well. I know this has been said a lot about the seniors over the past few years, and they continue to demonstrate this day after day as their connection with one another, how they support one another, and they're great role models for all the other students in our school. So we hope that all of us can live up to some of the expectations that they have shown us. Thank you very much.